just been a model for me for longevity. I tell my clients every day, like muscle endurance, longevity, marathon. He's been doing it since he's 18 years old. He's like 38 now.
39. He's
39.
old.
You feel me? And think about it back in them days. Any basketball player past 30, 31, we start to think they were washed up.
Yeah. Every time I was looking at Kyle Lowry earlier, and he's 37, so he's older. But once Joel Embiid's turning 30, so I look at that, I'm like, I'll give it like 3 years. He's done. You know what I mean?
And that's what it's like. Certain players, you'd be like, all right, you can tell. Whereas like LeBron kept that shit was like, nah, I'm gonna keep my body together. And a lot of people talk about how he invests. It's one thing that is easy to invest in your body is just eating the right fruits, nutrition, making sure you're doing the right thing, working out. You gotta realize what he puts in his body, he runs it like a Bugatti or a Porsche. So he gotta make sure he put the right fuel in it so he can go as long as he can. And he's playing a young man's game that, like, Father Time does hit everybody. We talk about Michael Jordan, but when he was starting to hit them later 30 years, you start to see how age really starts to affect him.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, LeBron, where it's like, bro, he's still jumping like a young man.
Yeah, he's averaging, what, I want to say like 25, 7, and 7, like something ridiculous.
And I feel like if a lot of other people was doing it, it'd be a lot more hype, I would say, you know?
Yeah.
So I just learned to give greatness flowers because believe me, before I didn't like Steph Curry ass at all. You feel me? I'm like, nah, he's taking all the championships from LeBron, but you just see how great he is just to hit so many shots and put all that work in and put it together, bro. That shit is hard, man. And you just, for me, like I said, just admire it, man, because when it's gone, you ain't gonna see it again. You're gonna be hoping like, all right, who's the next person? We always be like, oh, Trae Young, this, that, and the third. Now you putting them to a pedestal that they got to see if they can even hold, you know. And it's good. I feel like the NBA is in a really, really good spot, you know, with young talent and older.
Yeah. Magic Johnson or Steph Curry? Because I had an argument with my friend last week, and he said that Steph's better than Magic. I completely disagree. But there's just overall, if you look at Magic's game, right, you see he's passing. I mean, he's one of the best passers of all time. Rebounding, he's a winner. Not saying Steph Curry's not a winner, but I'm just saying if you look at Magic's numbers, I mean, he did what he had AIDS and he had to leave the league. But if he would have stayed in the league, what do you think, Magic or Steph?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I would have been like Magic Johnson, real quick, but like I put in perspective now the influence. Yes, Magic Johnson influenced bigger guards, but you see how Steph Curry influenced the game in totality. And like you said, winner. I can't give Magic Johnson a lot of those credit, and we always, I would say, discredit Steph Curry for having like KD. But you gotta remember, he had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He had some Hall of Famers, some heavy hitters on his team. So it's like even like players that say like Nick Rambis and stuff like that, or Kurt Rambis, that's Hall of Fame player, you know.
Yeah.
So I could say Steph Curry simply just because like the talent level that say Magic Johnson had to have on his team, he already had it. You know, the league was in a spot where it's like they're still trying to expand and make it noticeable for everybody. Whereas like Steph Curry played in it, where it's like one, I got to make my name for myself because I'm injury prone. Magic Johnson already came in with that, I would say, superstardom. And then like I said, he changed the game where it's like everybody in the league or every young kid thinks they can shoot like him. You know, so I got to give it to Steph. I feel like he's gonna end his career on a note with probably like one more championship, but I gotta lean a little bit more to Steph. But I want to hear your reasoning for Magic Johnson.
I have never seen Magic Johnson play because I am 18 years old, so it's a little different for me. But I watch Magic Johnson, right? I think the era is a lot different. I think now a lot more free throws. It's a lot weaker. It's a lot less physical. Not discrediting. I think there's more talent now. I think there's a lot more talent in today's
skill level's
age.
A lot better.
Yeah, 100%. I think I like work ethic over talent in general, no matter what, because they just work their asses off, game in and game out. Like I watched the highlights. I watched the Bad Boy Pistons.
Yeah.
I think that's sick. Like honestly, like
I could definitely say Isaiah Thomas is one of my favorite point guards. So
yeah,
they're like you said, just the physicality and we said the team camaraderie with that team. You know, it just wasn't Isaiah Thomas. They had a whole core with them.
Yeah, what Dumars, Bill Lambright. They had someone else. I'm forgetting the name.
I can't think of it. I know they had John Salley.
Was it Rodman?
Too.
Rodman was on the team.
Rodman was on the team too.
Yeah.
He was on the team early too. Before he ended up going to the Bulls and playing with Jordan.
Yeah.
But I feel like certain things was in Jordan's favor too. Or it's like
Yeah, well, yeah. That's why I always say for like they always say with LeBron, like he had super teams. I'm like, you have two Hall of Famers, and then you have what Horace Grant. I don't know. Is Hall of Grant a Hall of Famer or
yeah, he's in Hall of Fame.
is he?
Yeah, I think he's Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr. He had who am I
Scottie
forgetting?
Pippen.
Well, yeah, obviously Scottie Pippen.
Dennis Rodman. You
Well,
feel me?
he had a Cartwright. I think it was Bill Cartwright.
Bill
He had
Cartwright.
Tony Kukoc. That's what I'm forgetting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he still had another one too. He played on the Lakers. I can't think. Ron Harper.
Yeah.
Ron
So
Harper,
it's not like he had like a scrub team. And what my always defense when it comes to LeBron, you see that 2008 roster he brought to the finals.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, it was honestly sad. But I mean, like I think that's a difference where LeBron makes an effect so much on the game where he could take a team that can go from like literally dead last in the league and bring it to the championship. I mean, this is what I'm saying when he was younger. But I remember when he left Cleveland the first time, I think it was the first time, they went from, I remember seeing a stat, first in the East to dead last in the East. So, I think that takes,
in consideration. And just, they say the whole ecosystem, LeBron's James left, like a lot of people lost their jobs and stuff like that. You don't realize how big of a, I would say, impact that person has on a whole, just not the game, but the whole ecosystem of where he is. Like you said, wherever he goes, he has a high chance of winning.
Yeah.
So even at his age, where it's like if you put him on a scrub team, no matter what, they're gonna get a lot better and have a chance of winning, just simply because he's on there. And like we just said, like longevity, a lot of players didn't have that impact later on in life. And we could say Steph Curry, ooh,
You're good. You're good.
Did you like a big Z like that, bro?
What? No, Zandra Iglesias? Yeah. Yeah, he was good.
Gauskas?
Yeah. Okay,
that
but
was
but he's not like you think.
And they had like Brandon Marshall, not Brandon. Yeah,
they had what? Did they have Delonte West on that team?
Yeah, they had Delonte West on that team.
Feel bad for him.
What's the other dude too? Booby Gibson.
Oh, Booby Gibson. What is who's it? Booby Gibson.
What's his name? Hold on, bro. I ain't bugging. My bad.
I don't think it's Booby Gibson.
It was something Gibson.
I don't think it's Booby Gibson.
You don't think it's Booby? Hold on.
No way.
I guarantee it's Booby Gibson. I put Bobby.
Outlandish take.
Hold on. Yeah. Hold on.
Crazy take. This is gonna be great content right here. Booby Gibson.
Hold on. I'm gonna look. Daniel Gibson. I said Booby Gibson.
I don't know where you're getting that from.
Yeah, Daniel Gibson. That's what it was. I wasn't close. Anderson Varejao, Williams.
Anderson Varejao is horrible. I'm sorry, Anderson Varejao, you're not good, dude.
He was good at. Well, he was good at
rebounding.
charges, right? And rebounding.
I think I had no idea if he's good at charges.
Yeah,
he's scrappy. Yeah,
and he always fall for the charge. He always do a charge or some shit.
He's
like
a goof. He's a goof. I mean, to be at that level, you have to be very good. So I'm not saying that he's horrible. I'm saying, in an NBA perspective, he's
the skill level. His skill wasn't top tier at all.
Obviously, you grew up. I want to say in the '90s, right? '90s, early 2000s. Would you rather grow up in today's age, or back then? Because for me, I would have rather grown up in the '80s and '90s rather than now. I think everyone's completely brainwashed by social media. That's my whole thing.
I can say yes and no, simply just because like I can see the benefit of social media. Does it consume us too much? Yeah, because I feel like sometimes we don't look to the next person just to have conversation, and you can see how long conversation can really take you. So I can say no. I know I said it all yes and no, but I would say more or less no, because like I love my high school '80s and early 2000 years, but I see how everything's going now, how social media, how technology is getting a lot better, how like if you would say get injured Achilles or something like that, MCA, ACL, you're back relatively faster than back in the days. So back then, once you get that shit, bro, you was over.
Yeah.
So just seeing how technology got a lot better, man, how some people really make the most of just being alone. You see TikTok, how people just blow up just being in their room. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I say it's a only bad thing, more or less, just communicating day to day with people. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like social media made a lot of people to themselves, whereas like back in the days, you had to be forced to talk to somebody if you really wanted to know what they were going through and what's going on. Whereas like I could just look at your story and figure out what you're doing and how you're
Yeah.
feeling. You feel me? Oh, everything looks good on your life, but like that's just a highlight. You know what I mean? That's what I learned was like there's people that I would say look at their story and be like, all right, nah, my homie good, but like now I grew up where it's like, no, let me actually check in, see how you're doing, how's everything going, how's everything going, and you learn that goes a long way. Like you get to see what's behind the, I would say, the veil of the curtain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I can say I appreciate you guys. You know what I mean? Because I can say my business for me has always been a hiatus from everything. You feel me? Something I can just get away to and escape. But sometimes you just can't escape reality altogether. You got to hit it head on. You know, and having people that actually care, and that's where it's like y'all would open up the call, check in. You feel me? See how I'm doing. And we did the same thing with each other. I mean, it makes you want to keep going hard because they actually see what you're doing too. You feel me? That's why for this, I didn't mind. I don't mind going all out because I see how far you came from when we first started to now.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Um, Social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a different stance on it. I think it's ruining people.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's I think there's benefits, of
Mm-hmm.
course, because I think that, it's easy because like I said, I'm at school, I can't reach out to you guys if I don't we don't have technology.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying you don't think it's like not I won't say warping our brains, but it's like it's making also one people very antisocial and
Yeah.
awkward. But you don't think it's like screwing with people's like mental health? Like if they don't have their phone, they freak the fuck out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Certain people like I could say like even being in a gym working out, like I could see how like my client or just other people like they're glued to their phone. Whereas like I had to grow out of that. Whereas like, all right, if I got my playlist on, or if I'm not even having my playlist on, let me just give myself hour, 30 minutes, no phone, just get mentally right, meditate, stretch. You feel me? Do something I say physically or mentally to I would say ground myself. Read, journal, um, and it makes it a lot better, bro. Whereas like everything looking at your phone 24/7, seeing the highlights of somebody else, it does affect you. You feel me? Because it's like, damn, why am I not doing that? You feel me? And you realize everybody's timing is a lot different. They're doing that because it was meant for them at that time. They can afford that at that time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Your time gonna come if you stay focused on you. So that's the only bad thing about social media. It's because I just feel like more or less it's just the highlights and people get a little bit too caught up with the lust of the highlights.
Yeah. Two more questions, but I feel like they're important ones. With the one I'm about to ask you, what your standpoint, like as a world today, do you think we're like fucked? I don't know. Like I don't want to say it in like
um,
like
no, I don't want to say we are. I feel like no, I think the world today is in a good spot. I feel like you see a lot of togetherness. Like even just this right here, you feel me? You can see how we're both growing brands and growing our business, and we're able to communicate with it. Even though it's somewhat different, it's still similar. We both
yeah
have the same goal at the end of the
yeah
day. So it's like no, I think society, of course, is gonna be some bad, but you gotta just find that balance and realize, no, it's not gonna always be bad. Of course, they're gonna put what's always bad out there, but if you find the beauty in life and just the little things, man, you just feel like you'll see how beautiful life really is, man, and how dope people really are. Like just to see how, like I said, walking from different backgrounds and being able to communicate with you guys, and going back to it, man, you being 18, 19 years old, man, and us being able to connect, growing up from different backgrounds. We from
here
Huntington.
born and raised in this house. Yeah
Huntington. You know what I mean? Whereas like I grew up in Deer Park, and then I ended up moving to Huntington, back and forth. But like how we can go through different backgrounds and still have a common ground, chill, laugh, and keep going. Whereas like before, we sometimes I feel like we get caught up in looking in the differences too much. We just gotta be caught in the beauty of how we all common. That's what I realized as I got older, because I would shy away from a lot of things. The person you see today is very different than the person you seen before. I was a lot more quiet. People be like, yeah, you were talkative, but it was talkative to a group. You feel me? I have a big group of friends, and if you're trying to say go as far as you want, and not even just go as far as you want. Just get different perspective of life. You got to go outside of your own comfort zone,
Yeah.
and see how people see life and see why it's different and understand any differences and similarities. Real shit.
Yeah. All right. Last thing. To all our viewers out there, I want you to leave off with one thing of what you think the most important thing in life is. Like the most important thing that comes across your mind. Like you can think about it, but I just want you to the most important thing that in life that you think.
It's just hard, just one, but I can give. I could say give. I say just move with love, man. Ultimately, you can cultivate the reality you want. If you're gonna have revenge, malice on you, you're gonna always see that. But if you always move with love, good energy, understand you just can't be around certain things, certain people. Understanding yourself, that's the biggest thing in life. If you understand yourself, you can get as far as you want because you just won't put yourself in any situation. You set standards for yourself, and that's the biggest thing: having a standard for yourself and not going underneath that standard. Like, nah, I know I'm better than what I'm going through, so it's just a little tide that I would say, go over. Just have a standard for yourself and moving with love. Because if you move with love, it's bound to attract.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for coming here today and for everything. Obviously you sponsor this podcast, so that's great. Yeah, I mean, I thought you said a lot of great things, so I'm really happy where you are. So obviously, where you helped me to be here, so obviously I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, I'm just obviously
Ah, man, it's love, and I love what you're doing, and I appreciate you having me on here. I can definitely say I'm getting me a lot more comfortable. I can say hearing my voice, speaking. I can say on camera, because I always say, yo, I'm a vibe in person.
yeah.
You feel me? Where it's like we was talking about social media, where it's like it's easy to be a vibe on camera, but I'm one of them people where it's like once you meet me, we break the ice, we break bread, we get to know each other. You feel me? I'm not that bad of a person.
So your Instagram is gng.sky, or is it just
GNGLYF, and the LYF is just lifestyle. It was like basically whatever, not whatever, GNG lifestyle. Getting up and getting to it. Health, nutrition, fitness, being the best version of yourself. Going back to my motto. So yeah, GNG life. It's a lifestyle. What we do.
then your TikTok is also gng life?
Yes.
So I want everyone who obviously is viewing this to tune into him. He's making some great content, and if you are looking to get in fit and you do want to stay motivated, definitely head over. If you are on Long Island, it's a great trainer. Help me. Obviously, I'm in a position now where I could vocalize my voice to try helping other people because you help me. So obviously, I want to help other people the same way you help me. So if you do want to, if you're looking for motivation and you do want to get fit, go check out G&G. Reach out. Yeah. Also, just shoot him a DM or shoot me a DM, and I'll refer you to him. Obviously. So I just want to thank you for coming here.
Nah, I appreciate you, man, and we gonna get better. Watching 6 months how everything changed and go up for us, man. And I can say anybody that's tapped in with me with GNG Life, Fast Forward Podcast, tap in and let's get better. Rise and grind, rise and shine.
All right. Thank you.
Good shit, bro. Good shit. How many minutes we got?